Hello, everyone. Welcome. I set up the camera by the fire so you guys can enjoy the fire ambiance, okay? Which I am enjoying because we had a lot of cold, wet air around where I'm at, and it's been nice running the fireplace to kind of cut some of that out, that thickness we had. My cousin was talking about snow fog. So be careful out there driving, obviously. If you're somebody who drives like we are. Anyway, I realize not everybody in the collective that's watching may be living in the same type of area where they have their own vehicle or a need for their own vehicle. Some folks use public transportation, especially in major cities that have well-traveled bus routes, metro stations, and the like, okay? And then obviously we have our city cabs as well. I know there's a lot of the rideshare stuff these days, but there's always a cab company that's been around, so you know what I mean? If you're not sure about like getting like a rideshare, just call. You might have to wait a little bit, but they usually show up. Yeah, don't make yourself crazy over it. Go to bat for the right crew that's been doing the same gig for a while. You know what I mean? Like, okay. Ooh, look at this cobra. How interesting, and right by the fire too, giving me that the Indian vibes. You know, this is weird because I scrolled by something on my phone maybe a couple days ago. It was something about snake charmers. Kind of like about like the snake charmer, like there's like a tribe, I think, of snake charmer people in India that train these cobras, right? Um, yeah. Let's keep going. Wasn't that the Sinead O'Connor album, Lion and the Cobra? If you don't know what that is, go check that out. Any of what I just said. So if you're watching on the replay, you might see it come across in the captions. If not, please just say hello, especially if you're in the chat today, and give us a like. Crocodile. So we have cobra and crocodile. Both reptile creatures. Both have scaly skin, although the crocodile quite powerful. I think a crocodile could take a cobra, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. There's a little dolphin on the bottom. Right? A little flipper. Did you guys, have you guys ever seen the TV show Flipper from way back? I think they kind of remade it, maybe in the 80s, I want to say, but I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, yeah, that's so funny because, you know, the cobra goes with movement, and the crocodile, they, like, when they attack, it's after they're watching, right, with this watchful eye. So, you know, it is the holiday season, but there are the thieves out there, so just be careful, right? Keep your doors locked. Try to keep your purses or wallets like close to you, in front of you, while you're out doing your last minute holiday shopping, right? Owl. Yeah. Don't let all wisdom go out the window just because you want to see the perfect fairyland of Christmas and holidays. And yes, I would love everything to turn out that way as well. But just as the owl is prepared with its plumage, right? We have our things in place to protect us, okay? So, you know, an owl's beak, and their claws, right? You know, are, because an owl is a predator, right? But, you know, it's just feeding itself, right? Now, if you're a mouse or some other creature, right? Maybe don't cross where the owl hangs out at, right? Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Okay, yeah. Here's deer. You ever see the deer crossing signs? Okay, that means watch out for deer. Okay. All right. Gazelle, look at that. You might be thinking about a more warmer climate. Maybe you're warming yourself, by the fire. Maybe tomorrow where you're at, the sun is going to come out and feel very warm on you. Okay, I'm just getting that. And collective, what's that's going to help you do is stretch and grow. Okay, I'm really getting that from this gazelle card here, where as a cobra it's like you might have had to dance around and be like, look, I don't want to bite you, but I am a cobra, and if you come that close, that might happen. Right now that you have this gazelle energy here coming around, okay, so like spirit animal wise, I feel like you might be shedding your skin of this cobra and rising up and being proud standing. Okay, what was in that Clash of the Titans? Wasn't the Medusa character like actually like a snake body? I don't know if that was an accurate representation or not of the myth, but maybe somebody out there in the chat can comment on that part of Greek mythology. I wouldn't call myself a Greek mythology expert. I just know enough to be dangerous, right? Also, I was channeling Kali the other day because, I was in the kitchen, and who doesn't need another hand in the kitchen? Okay, unicorn. Also, yeah, right? If you had one of these, right? Just be hanging stuff off of it left and right, okay? But don't do that over an open flame. Okay, so again, crocodile, where it's like somebody's like, oh yeah, it's totally safe. Oh yeah. Or they say like, oh yeah, my relative does that, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, is that actually what happened? Or are they just saying that's what happened? Like, in their mind, they would have liked for that to have happened. Okay, so... And you gotta wonder, it's like, why is this person coming around asking questions? Being curious about what? For why? Anyway. Just saying. So, part of it is they see your uniqueness, okay? And they're like, yeah, I want to get in on that. Yeah, I bet you do. Right? That's when you got to say take a number, right? So collective, for many of you, you might be prioritizing yourself. Others might see you as kind of defensive, but again, think about the wisdom of the owl. The owl does not typically hang around with like 15 other owls. No. They got their own place. I got some kids they gotta feed. I'm sure there was like a Mitch Hedberger, whatever, I can't remember exactly his last name, but I'm sure there's like a whole routine with him talking about owls somewhere, right? If not, some comedian out there may. Look at that moth on the bottom. Mothman prophecies. Something that was coming to me a week or so ago. Also. That's one of those movies that it's like, I wouldn't say it's like a Halloween movie, but it's kind of like a supernatural, superstitious type, legend, just storytelling type movie. But it's not, some people might find it unsettling, though. You know what I mean? It's not exactly a Hallmark Christmas movie, so it does have some intensity there, right? Just like the owl, whether they're flying in attack mode or whether they're just sitting there watching. And think about these two sitting there watching each other. The crocodile watching the owl, then you're anything, right? And the owl, keeping an eye on on these crocs slurping around the water, right? You ever see that Romancing the Stone where the guy has I believe he has alligators as pets, not crocodiles, but he's also like a drug lord or something in the movie. Okay, yeah, a crow. So, the crow may be telling you something. You might have some kind of vision regarding crows, trying to communicate to you. This also could appear in a dream, as could the owl. Seeing animals in your dream is probably a more common type of thing, I would say. Because they're a symbol that we can all communally recognize, right? So think of that when you're doing any dream analysis, okay, on your own. There's lots of good books out there. I've had some over the years as I've analyzed my own dreams. I've gone through periods of dreaming heavily where I remember, every little minute detail, even well into the next day. And then there's times when I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I go back to sleep, and then sure enough, don't remember a thing. A hawk. But it's like you just get up from that little cat nap, and what does the hawk do? The hawk goes out and hunts just like the owl, but the hawk does it in the daytime, right? They're not necessarily nocturnal. They're out there. I almost want to say a hawk is more like a scavenger bird, but bear here. So again, you might be going into hibernation mode. As I was out doing errands in one of the schools around me, it looked like they were getting out, or one of them had like their holiday program. It's like, okay, yeah, this is the time where, there's going to be extra traffic at odd hours, right? So, you know, yeah, you might be in this mode like, why is everybody doing anything? Like, they just need to go home, right? But really, what's going on out there around is there's people busy about their lives, right? Okay, so, paying attention like a hawk, sometimes as we are driving, right, is a good idea. Anyway. Okay, I think that's all I have for you guys. I will take a little picture of the Advent calendar reveal. Some additional note cards came out for date 19. All right. Hi there. Good evening back to you. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close the reading. That's all we have for today. So until next time, please do manifest wisely. Bye-bye.